Is going on, everybody? It's me, Cherry, and we're here with another Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl Spotlight. So today is Rocco's, and we're gonna get right into this one pretty quick.
My name is Choctopus, and I'm here to remind you that Laundry Day is a very dangerous day.
Very
and
true.
also to present none other than the wacky wallaby himself, Rocco, who's back with a familiar yet modern design in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. Rocco typically tends to strive for a mostly peaceful existence alongside his companion.
So it looks like so far, we've already got his down tilt and his up special carried over, which is good. The up special looks a little different with like him not staying in the air as long. He kind of goes up and just goes down, kind of like Garfield's, but still more Rocco-ified, if you will. Then Spunky on the sweepy on that broom.
Spunky, packing whatever tools, knickknacks, and valuables he can.
Yeah, like you can tell. I almost wonder, developers, if you're allowed to answer this. I actually talked about this on stream. Was that I was curious which version of Rocco was developed first, the Nasb 1 counterpart or the current Nasb 2 version. And I asked that question mainly because you can literally see all of the similarities between this version of Rocco and his Nasb 1 counterpart, like besides the animations and effects being much better and more detailed. So to me, it almost feels like he was designed like side by side. Um, or at least like his design itself was planned like side by side. Like let's say, all right, we're gonna do this in Nasb 1 and we're gonna do this in Nasb 2, and this is what we can do for him in Nasb 1. But like here's the full move set pretty much, like with whatever else he has. But like he has the up special or the up strong, and he has the down special, and he has Spunky still, and he has that different up special, and he has down tilt. So like what else does he have? Let's see.
Find before being rushed out the door. Rocco is ready for action as a.
Oh, he has up air. I heard the little ding ding ding. And let's see here. He slime cancels from what is that? Is that up tilt? That kind of looks like up tilt.
Door.
Yeah, it's down air, but it functions a little differently.
Rocco is.
And that looks like up tilt, and it's a little bit different than Nasb 1, but pretty much the same idea. It's a short hitbox that's just around his head, and his head expands as his jaw opens up, and from there he pops him up, slime cancels into up air, and you see slime cancel, and there it is. It's hard to see in this blinding light, and the platform being in the way, but you can see the boxing glove here, the red, and as he punches, and that's that multi-hit up air. And it looks like what I'm assuming this is SDI, or Charge Directional Influence as it's called, so CDI in Nasb 2. But Patrick looks, you can see him in the multi-hits, he's hitting him, and Patrick's actually moving out, unless I'm not imagining that, right? Because he was directly below him at one point. Slime cancels. Yeah, look, as he gets hit, he like moves to the right, and then the knockback takes place, sending him that way. But because he gets hit with like less of the hits and not the final hit, he falls out instead of getting sent far. At least if I understand what's happening correctly, that's what's happening. So cool.
Happy little brawler.
And then he threw out another move there, which looks like his Nair. And it looks very similar to Nasb 1. It even has like that little purple effect on the back hit. But it's pretty much just him throwing his tail. The animation's a bit different. In Nasb 1, I almost always thought it was like his foot the way he does it. It looks more like a kick. And in this, it's very much obvious that he's doing that spin slap motion with his tail for it to be a single hit. So that's really cool to see.
With plenty of surprises.
And his down light is a little different. Instead of him doing that little like forward flip he does, and it's sending Patrick very slow and a slow fall down instead of a fast fall. He throws it down, same type of animation, a bit more expressive with that facial animation, and it's a single hit spike. And I think that effect is mistimed, so I mean, no biggie. It's probably just an early build or something, unless it's intended to be like that, because the trail does catch up and finish. So let's rewatch that in full speed. It's hard to tell, honestly, so I think that's just a slow nitpick rather than it actually being like something that's unintentional. Maybe that's like how it should look. I don't know. I don't know anything about animation.
Rises.
Like, it doesn't look wrong. It maybe just looks like it starts a little late, but I'm not going to dwell on it.
Since we've already introduced him, let's talk about Spunky, who can be
The spunk.
called out with Rocco's neutral
And this is very similar to how it worked, but he does jump at you.
special to chase after his opponents.
And that must have been his forward light there. He did a little punch.
As long as Spunky's on the ground, he'll run in a straight line until he gets close enough to pounce on his target. If he misses his mark or gets called in the wrong direction, fear not. Pressing the special button again or giving him a little encouragement with one of Rocco's attacks.
And he also has his strong forward air, strong nair from the first game. I love this this alternate skin, this painter's skin, you know. I love that. But let's listen to that again, because I kind of was not paying attention.
Not. Pressing the special button again or giving him a little encouragement with one of Rocco's attacks will turn him around.
So not just neutral special, but any move makes him turn around with an attack. Interestingly, this is different than how this functioned in Nasb 1, and I wonder what... Actually, is it? I think it is, because I think in Nasb 1, the way you had to turn him around was with using like a jab or grabbing it and throwing it the other way. Whereas now you can just neutral special or attack and he'll turn around, which is cool. I'm not entirely... I think in the first game, if you just clicked B again, it would stop. And that was similar to like Gur with Zim as well. So, it's interesting. I think it's a more useful use for it.
On command. Spunky won't lunge after opponents if he's in the air, but he can be picked up and thrown to hit them.
I was really worried about this, and this is something that makes me really optimistic about my enjoyment of this character is towards the end of Nick Brawl, and I mean throughout its lifespan, but with different characters. Like at first, I really liked Cat Doug's items because they were very much like they reminded me of Pac-Man's, but they're also pretty easy to use and fun to mess around with item play wise. Zim has recently become one of my favorite Nasb 1 characters, even though he's not the best, just because Gur is just a really fun character to pick up and mess around with. I hope you don't have to just like stand in place with him. I'm gonna have to ask about that. Devs and beta testers, if you're watching and can answer, let me know if you can actually move around while holding Spunky, or can you jump at least, or is it just like once you pick a direction, you throw him, or what happens if you tap jump when you pick him up, or is it just you grab and then you just have to throw him? But regardless of how it functions, I'm glad that you can actually interact with your items by grabbing it, even if it's just Rocco. Because I know it's not something that everybody has anymore, and it's not a counterplay thing. But that's cool. Does it mean, though, if you can grab him, can other people grab him as well? Or is it just him?
Thrown to hit them. With all the help that Spunky provides, be sure to take good care of him. If he gets hit or thrown by an opponent, he'll get a bit dizzy before eventually returning to Rocco. If you'd like to introduce a little bit of chaos into the fray,
The teabag.
Rocco can pull out a jackhammer with his down special.
And so down special, like we saw earlier, is back.
The jackhammer will knock opponents around as it travels in random directions.
Interesting, they've made it not a multi-hit, which I think is a great change, because in Nasb 1, it was really annoying to have that on the field, because it would move pretty far back and forth, and each multi-hit would just get you stuck in it, and you'd literally just be bonking around, and then your opponent would try to punish you for getting hit by it, and then they would get punched inside of it. You'd just both be getting sent everywhere, man. It was something.
But if you need some consistency, the slime version of this move will stay traveling.
I really love that they're using more of this, like, I mean, they showed gameplay in the early stuff, but they haven't shown a lot of like online matches and matches in general. Because we can also kind of look at this and see like, all right, this is, I think west to the Netherlands, west coast of America, I think, too far. Feel free to, if you watch this video, correct me. I think west coast to Netherlands, which is far distance, and they're just playing without any issues, which is insane. But look at this.
Slime version of this move will stay traveling forwards. And as an added bonus, if Spunky gets close enough to the jackhammer, he'll throw on his hard hat, get to work, and cause it to move even faster. Next up, Rocco's side special is the most helporific household device on Earth, the Sucko-Matic.
That's awesome. Bro gives the Sucko. His name is Rocco. The OO, the ooh.
When activated, Rocco will ride the Sucko-Matic into battle,
I love that move.
pulling in and throwing out any enemies or dogs that happen to be in its way.
That's a really cool use of Spunky and Sucko-Matic being able to shoot stuff out. Because I wonder if that means that you could shoot the jackhammer as well.
While it won't do your taxes or cook for you, it can be used to get back to stage if you get knocked away. The slime...
That's really cool to see. And it looks like you have about the same like movement forward with this as you did with like Nasb 1's variant of up special. But it's good to see Rocco has a horizontal way to get back.
version of this move is slower, but a bit stronger, and its enhanced sucking strength can even pull enemies in from a distance. Finally, Rocco's up special, the Conglommo Rocket, shoots high into the sky before adjusting its trajectory back into the ground. This move allows Rocco to go deep off stage
Shout out to Max Ketchum.
while he bonks opponents over the head with his light down air. In case you thought you were done, Rocco still has a few more surprises to offer besides his special attacks. Passed down for generations, his grounded, charged-up attack is his family's trusty pogo stick. This move
And yeah,
can be
this
used
is from
to put
Nasb 1.
opponents way high up in the air as a finisher.
It seems to go a lot higher than it did in Nasb 1, so I wonder how useful it'll be. And it was really useful in Nasb 1, so I imagine it'll be even more so in this game.
Or to continue combos with the slime cancel. Though more
That was cool.
simply, you could also just fall onto your opponent's heads and send them flying.
Yeah, and that was why it was really useful in Nasb 1, is people would just, at high percents, they would just use it, jump off the edge, and just be like, no, and then slam into you, and you just die at, like, super high percents if they wanted to edge guard.
His aerial charge down attack drops a bowling ball on enemies' heads, which definitely makes it a great move for hitting enemies that are hanging out way down under. That's an Australia joke for you.
Thank you.
As a stubby little wallaby, Rocco definitely has some short range.
I love that
other
down tilt
fighters,
usage.
but once you find an opening, possibly by clever use of Spunky and his jackhammer, Rocco can certainly spring into action with an altogether strong combo game and versatile toolset.
Nice little backer there.
If you like the look of what Rocco has
Slime
to
cancel.
offer,
That
try
slime
it
cancel into snare is really good looking.
out in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned as we wrap up our character spotlights.
And that is his awesome final splat. How do you like that? That's not bad. But yeah, while I'm not as hyped about him as I was with Gerald, and even then after sitting on Gerald, I'm not even sure anymore what my thoughts are, to be honest with you. I really still think Gerald would be a good pick for me, but I'm hopeful that I really like Jimmy. And Rocco, I think, seems to be my third now. So yeah, my top three right now are probably Jimmy, Gerald, and Rocco. So JGR. JGR. But yeah, that's all I've got for this episode. I hope that you guys enjoyed this reaction. What do you think of Rocco? Make sure to give me your thoughts in the comment section below. And I'm pretty hyped for him, honestly, all things considered. So yeah, that's about it. And yeah, there'll be a couple more. I think there's Korra and Zim left. Reptar? No, we had Reptar. So Korra and Zim are left. So 2 more spotlights in a week. And like halfway through the week. So we should get more relatively soon. So I will see y'all later.